About a year ago, a woman who showed interest in Carson cheated on him with Fitz, while also having a boyfriend. After this came out, Carson began to have some inappropriate conversations with his fans. 7 months ago, Jschlatt exposed him for this, and he's been on a break ever since, until recently when he came to Mizkiv's house. Mizkiv asked Jschlatt if he was okay with it, and he said yes. Carson came to arrange a charity event with Maya and appeared on Mizkiv's stream while he was there. You can clearly see he started to rapidly bald. I don't know how stressed you have to be to bald this bad, but it's clearly quite a bit. But Carson isn't a bad guy, and I'd go as far as to say Jschlatt doesn't have much ground to stand on in this video.
Carson told the Lunch Club guys, as well as a bunch of close friends of his at the time, that he had been sexting his fans, exchanged photos with the 17-year-old while he was 19. He was ashamed of what he had done, but so much time spent with the guy just trying to be good friends for him and trying to do what we thought was the right thing to do. And in my discussions with them, I heard some things that suggested that Carson wasn't improving in the areas that he should have been, and he was showing signs of continuing some of his inappropriate behavior. And apparently this was happening while I was spending all this time trying to help him. And while he was saying that he was working on himself and that he was changing and that he hates the person he used to be. Also, seeing the DMs he exchanged with some of the girls that have come forward absolutely fucking disgusted me. Up until yesterday, I thought that all these encounters Carson had were very much, spur of the moment mistakes that he regretted instantly. And that was very much the story that everybody was told.
Carson said he was going to stop this bad behavior, but behind the scenes, he kept doing it. This made Jschlatt mad because Carson was tearing down all this time and effort that was put into helping him. Now, someone lying about how they're going to change is something for you to evaluate on a personal level. How much of your friends' attention-seeking behavior can you deal with before you cut them off is up to you. But why don't we look at it from a different angle? Does Carson need to apologize? Does he need to change? The two problems I see people having with him are: 1, he dated a 17-year-old girl, and 2, he used his popularity to get girls. Most people aren't mad about the first problem. I talked about it in my video, but the main point is that he was 19 and she was 17. To put it into perspective, they would be like 1 grade apart in high school. The real controversy is the quote-unquote power dynamic. She was a fangirl, a groupie. Wait a minute. Where have I seen this before? But, who's this? Most of her pics have a couple hundred likes, so, but who's that? Ted, is that you, Ted? So Ted has 500k followers, and his girlfriend has 6k. 100k likes versus 1k likes. Fuck it, 200 likes. You know what I would call that? I would call that the abuse of power dynamics between content creators and their fans. Wow. But, S-Fan, a guy that I really like, turned on his live stream at a Twitch party to impress one of 3 girls that Hassan Piker invited from a dating app.
This is Jamie. She is one of 3 women that Hassan somehow managed to get to this party through a dating app. And she's very nice, but none of them are streamers, right? Or YouTubers or creators or whatever.
Literal groupies. Actual groupies. Hassan had maybe one of the stupidest excuses for why he invited groupies to a party.
I thought, it'll be fun to invite some, normie Texas girls because I want to see how, everyone is around, normal people.
But where did he meet these normal girls who had no idea what Twitch was?
So I met this girl on Raya.
Fucking Raya. What's Raya, you ask? It's a dating app where normal people can match with celebrities. Huh, you know what that sounds like to me? That kind of sounds like what does that sound like? It sounds like a power dynamic between content creators and their fans. Man, that's just so familiar. Where do I remember that from? But wait a minute. Where did Carson meet Kate? Who is Kate? Whoa, wait a minute. What the fuck is that? Wow, a show on Twitch based around normal girls getting into relationships with famous people. It was totally fine when Carson started dating Twitch because of his audience, but not anymore. Not when he tries to date this person. It's not on a fun little game show anymore, so it's not okay. I mean, in the end, I think it's okay. You know, let celebrities use their fame to get relationships, but just make sure that you let all celebrities do it. And you can still hate Carson, you can still hate him, but if you hate him, just make sure you also hate Bretman Rock, Poke, Jack Manifold, Lil Nas X, Wilbur Suit, Andrea Botez, Skeppy Simply, Hassan Piker, Soda Poppin', Fundy Live, Quackity, James Charles, Nia Chu, Minx, Carl Jacob, Sapnap, George Not Found, Disguised Toast, Saikuno, and most importantly, person who called Carson's actions disgusting, Jschlatt. Cause I hate to break it to you, but they're all guilty. Oh, and Ted too. All these women, overnight they become famous, which is fine, whatever. But one thing is always in common with these women. They start from zero. I really hope Carson gets back to his normal life. And I'm glad he's doing stuff with Maya. Carson thought all these people, Kate, Fitz, Ted, Jschlatt, were his friends, but each one of them fucked him over in some way. Along with that, now people have to ask Jschlatt's permission to interact with Carson? Kate, someone who literally cheated on 3 people at once, didn't get hated this hard. Fitz, who slept with his friend's supposed girlfriend, he didn't get hated this much. Carson has honestly been an internet punching bag. You can tell this shit has had a serious effect on him too. Take a look at the man. Take a look at the man. Another notable thing is XQC's take on the Carson situation.
He was getting probably hundreds of DMs from hundreds or dozens of people. Dozens. Yet this is a choice that was made. This is not a quiz. This is the choice that was made. Multiple choices and validations, and through all the other options that was chosen. So it's like, I don't want people go out of the way to downplay it. I don't make too big of a deal about it, because it's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's illegal there, yeah, but I mean, but why though? But why?
The main thing to ask yourself is why not? You can look at it from one side and say that he's saying that Carson chose her specifically because she was 17. But you can't really have a fetish for a 17-year-old, especially if you're 19. The physical difference between a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old is like too little to tell. On the other side of things, XQC could also be saying that Carson had so many options that excluding girls under 18 wouldn't be that big of a deal, which isn't wrong until you realize that Carson doesn't have a lot of options. First off, he's got 3 million subscribers, it's a lot, but it's not a crazy amount. Then we have to consider that a majority of his audience is male, let's say 20% female, which is on the high side, so 600k people. Then we take into account that his audience is mostly on the younger side, younger than 17. So maybe 300k are the right age in women. And half of America is single, so how about half of those women are single? So 150k. Then we have to consider all these other things that you can't determine a number for. Does Carson find them attractive? Do they find Carson attractive? Are they interested in this type of admittedly weird relationship? And in all honesty, Carson isn't the most attractive guy, so by no means does he have a lot of options. But I do agree with XQC on this one. He shouldn't have been in an online sexting relationship, let alone with his fans or someone who doesn't find him attractive. It should be physical, and you should not get that relationship because of your audience. What? Okay, so then you gotta hate Poke too. If you really want to think that you're not allowed to get that relationship because of your fans, then you gotta hate Poke. And you gotta hate XQC, because that would never happen if it weren't for the millions of dollars and the fame. I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, is that bullying? Is that bullying and harassment? Whatever. Anyway, Jschlatt is a great guy. He's a great guy. I love his voice. He's very funny. You know, everyone makes mistakes. And in the end, there's a whole lot more going on behind the scenes. But from where I'm standing, it seems like Jschlatt just doesn't like Carson. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to not like someone.
Because this is a recurring problem now
I'm sorry, how old did you say you were?
19.
of content creators who take complete advantage of and manipulate the people that care about them the most. I don't think Carson's a pedophile, but that's what he did. He used his power to repeatedly take advantage of vulnerable people.
Something funny?
It's a good age.
Okay. Okay, good.
I don't know what causes this to happen. I don't know what compels content creators to do this, but it happens. And it's a big fucking problem.
I've never.
And as cliche as it is for me to say this, I really hope Carson gets the help that he very, very clearly needs as well.